Kevin Hart is known as Hollywood's comedy king, the family man constantly posting wholesome moments with his wife Eniko and their kids. But in 2017, his image nearly imploded in a scandal involving hidden cameras, FBI investigations, extortion attempts, and a shocking confession. So, what really happened that night in Vegas? How did a billionaire's private jet trip turn into one of Hollywood's messiest public meltdowns? And why did Hart wait 7 years to reveal the full story? Let's dive in. Kevin Hart's perfect image. In 2017, Kevin Hart was at the peak of his career. His film Central Intelligence with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson grossed over $200 million worldwide. His 2016 comedy special What Now was performed in front of 50,000 people at a Philadelphia stadium, a testament to his cultural dominance. Hart built his brand around being relatable, hardworking, and family-oriented. He constantly shared stories of his journey from Philadelphia to Hollywood, lessons learned from mistakes, and his commitment to becoming a better man than his father. In August 2016, Hart married Eniko Parrish, a model and longtime partner, in a lavish wedding. By 2017, Eniko was 7 months pregnant with their first child together, marking a fresh start after Hart's messy divorce from his first wife, Tori Hart. Hart's family-focused image was central to his career and endorsements. Private jet to Vegas. August 2017. Hart boards a private jet, not a commercial flight, with an unnamed billionaire friend. This friend reportedly encouraged the partying and may have facilitated the events that followed. Also on the jet were 3 women, including 26-year-old model Montia Sabbag, who would later become the face of the scandal. Back home, Eniko was heavily pregnant, preparing their first child together. Instead of supporting her, Hart was flying to Las Vegas with women he barely knew. This reckless night would threaten not only his marriage, but also the very image he had carefully cultivated. Fallout. What happened in that Vegas suite involved secret recordings, threats of public exposure, and legal complications. Rumors swirled. FBI investigations were quietly opened, and extortion attempts allegedly followed. For Hart, this wasn't just a private mistake. It had the potential to unravel his entire career. 7 years later, Kevin Hart finally shared his side of the story, revealing the truth behind the scandal and the lessons he learned from it. But the Vegas incident remains a stark reminder of how quickly fame and fortune can collide with poor decisions, and how one night can threaten years of carefully built reputation. Kevin Hart's 2017 scandal is more than just gossip. It's a story of temptation, betrayal, and the high stakes of life in Hollywood. In August 2017, Kevin Hart arrived in Las Vegas expecting a carefree night that quickly turned disastrous. Along with friends, he spent the evening club hopping, drinking heavily, and partying in VIP sections. What started as just having fun soon crossed the line between excitement and recklessness. During the night, Hart met 26-year-old model Montia Sabbag, and after some flirting, he invited her and another woman, Morgan, back to his suite at the Cosmopolitan. The timing couldn't have been worse. Hart's wife, Eniko, was 7 months pregnant at the time. Before heading to the hotel, Hart made a crucial mistake. For the first time, he took MDMA, commonly known as Molly or ecstasy, after being encouraged by a billionaire friend. This decision, later revealed in a 2024 deposition, significantly lowered his inhibitions and clouded his judgment. Though the drug might have influenced his behavior, it wasn't the root cause of his betrayal. It only revealed deeper flaws in his choices. What was meant to be a night of fun ended up marking the beginning of one of the biggest scandals of Hart's career, damaging his reputation, marriage, and public image for years to come. Inside the suite, hidden cameras and betrayal. Once inside Hart's suite, the gathering started as a typical Vegas afterparty: music, drinks, and conversation. Gradually, people drifted away, leaving Hart alone with Montia Sabbag in the bedroom. What happened next was captured on hidden cameras. Hart and Montia became intimate, and the footage existed without their knowledge. These cameras allegedly were planted by Jonathan Jackson, a longtime friend and promoter of Hart's comedy tours. Jackson had been close to Hart for over 15 years. Accusations claim he set up the cameras to record Hart for extortion purposes. Jackson has denied any involvement, suggesting Hart himself might have manufactured the story. But the footage of existence was undeniable. The extortion attempt. A month later, on September 30th, 2017, Hart received a chilling email. Anonymous extortionists demanded $5 million, or the sex tape would go public. The demand wasn't random. Extortionists had calculated the stakes, knowing exactly how much Hart had to lose in net worth, endorsement of deals, and reputation. The email included a sample of the footage, shot from fixed cameras capturing every detail. Faced with this, Hart did something surprising. Instead of paying, he posted a video to Instagram, one of the most infamous celebrity confessions of the decade. Exhausted and defeated, Hart admitted he had made a bad error in judgment and put himself in an environment where bad things could happen. He didn't explicitly name Montia, but viewers understood the confession. He also declared he wouldn't pay the extortionists, opting to control the narrative and own up to his mistakes publicly. While Kevin Hart dealt with the extortion fallout, the explicit tape reached his wife, Eniko, through Instagram DMs. 7 months pregnant, she was devastated to see footage of her husband with another woman. Eniko later described it as the most painful moment of her life, filled with shock, betrayal, and humiliation. She immediately confronted Hart, who confessed to everything: the Vegas trip, the women, and the drugs. Though he admitted his mistakes, the damage was already done. Eniko filed for divorce shortly after, but eventually chose to stay, opening a complicated chapter of forgiveness, accountability, and the struggle to rebuild broken trust. Media frenzy and public reaction. As Hart and Eniko dealt with the personal fallout, the media erupted. Headlines screamed, "Kevin Hart cheats on pregnant wife," "Kevin Hart extortion scandal," "Kevin Hart sex tape." Social media was merciless. Memes, jokes, and criticism flooded platforms, juxtaposing Hart's public persona as a devoted family man with the scandal. Public opinion was split. Some sympathized, seeing Hart as a victim of extortion who made a single mistake. Others had zero sympathy, pointing out that he willingly cheated on a pregnant wife. Conspiracy theories even suggested the entire scandal was orchestrated for publicity ahead of Hart's irresponsible comedy tour. While ticket sales soared, the personal cost was undeniable: marital strain, reputational damage, and emotional fallout. The role of drugs. Hart's admission to taking MDMA in 2024 added another layer. While some interpreted it as deflecting responsibility, the drugs merely lowered inhibitions. They didn't create the choices he made. The scandal wasn't a product of the drugs alone. It was a culmination of reckless decisions, poor judgment, and enabling influences. The legal battle. The story didn't end with Hart's confession. Montia Sabbag later took legal action, and questions about Jonathan Jackson's alleged involvement remained unresolved. The extortion attempt highlighted the high stakes of celebrity life: hidden cameras, betrayal, and the immense power of wealth and influence. Hart's public confession was both a strategic move and an attempt at accountability, but the legal ramifications continued to unfold for years. Kevin Hart's 2017 Las Vegas scandal serves as a powerful lesson about fame, temptation, and accountability. One reckless night nearly destroyed his marriage, family, and career. While drugs and partying played a role, personal responsibility couldn't be avoided. The incident also revealed the risks of misplaced trust among friends and enablers. Hart's decision to publicly confront the extortion instead of paying up showed courage, but came at a heavy cost. Living under constant public scrutiny magnified every mistake. For Hart, that Vegas night wasn't just a scandal, it was a turning point that reshaped his life, reputation, and understanding of loyalty. FBI investigation and legal battles. Tracing the extortion. While the media fixated Kevin Hart's Vegas scandal, the FBI uncovered the extortion source: Jonathan Jackson, Hart's longtime friend and promoter. Digital evidence tied Jackson to hidden cameras in Hart's Cosmopolitan suite, used to film his encounter with Montia Sabbag. He allegedly demanded $5 million to keep the footage private. Jackson was arrested, but claimed Hart staged the scandal to promote his irresponsible tour. In 2021, charges were dropped after a rumored private settlement, though Hart never cleared Jackson's name. Jackson later sued Hart for $12 million in 2024, revealing under oath that Hart had taken MDMA that fateful night. Montia Sabbag's $60 million lawsuit. In 2019, Montia Sabbag sued Kevin Hart for $60 million, claiming he knew about the hidden cameras and used the Vegas scandal as a publicity stunt for his irresponsible tour. Hart denied the allegations, insisting he was also a victim. The case was later settled privately, leaving many questions unanswered. Turning scandal into comedy. The irresponsible tour. Amid scandal and turmoil, Kevin Hart launched his irresponsible tour in 2017, performing over 100 sold-out shows worldwide. He addressed his mistakes through comedy, seen by some as accountability and others as profit from infidelity. In interviews, Hart called his actions beyond irresponsible, but concealed his MDMA use until 2024. Eniko's decision, reconciliation, and healing. Eniko filed for divorce after seeing the tape, facing betrayal while 7 months pregnant. But after giving birth to their son Kenzo in November 2017, she paused the proceedings and entered couples therapy with Hart. The process was difficult, involving therapy, rebuilding trust, and restructuring Hart's relationships and boundaries. Slowly, they reconciled. In 2019, they renewed their vows, and in 2020, they welcomed their daughter Kaori. Even with forgiveness, Eniko admitted trust issues lingered as a reminder that infidelity leaves lasting scars. The consequences: career and personal losses. Kevin Hart's 2017 scandal had serious consequences that went far beyond headlines. Professionally, he lost major endorsement deals with Nike and Hyundai, damaging his trusted public image. His credibility suffered further when he lost the chance to host the Oscars with a major career milestone. Personally, the scandal deeply affected his marriage, coming while Eniko was pregnant, and strained his family life under public scrutiny. Hart's reputation as a devoted husband and honest performer was questioned, leading to emotional stress and loss of trust. Despite his continued success, the Vegas incident marked a permanent stain on his career, image, and personal relationships. The 2024 revelation: drugs and public perception. In 2024, Hart's deposition in Jackson's lawsuit revealed he had taken MDMA the night of the Vegas incident. Public reaction was divided. Some saw this as full honesty, others as deflection, a way to shift blame. The revelation reignited conspiracy theories about whether Hart's scandal had been manipulated for publicity. Legacy of the scandal. More than 7 years later, Kevin Hart remains one of the world's highest-paid comedians, with a net worth exceeding $450 million. He has rebranded himself around faith, redemption, and accountability, focusing on personal growth in his work and private life. Hart's social media presence and public behavior now reflect caution and maturity. However, the Vegas scandal continues to cast a lasting shadow. Though he rebuilt his career, reconciled with Eniko, and prioritized family, the incident remains a defining moment. It stands as a lifelong reminder that fame doesn't erase mistakes. Every choice leaves marks that shape one's legacy forever. The unanswered questions in Kevin Hart's Vegas scandal. Even years later, Kevin Hart's 2017 Las Vegas scandal remains surrounded by unanswered questions. One of the biggest mysteries is the identity of the billionaire friend who encouraged Hart to take MDMA and influenced the reckless night that followed. Hart has never revealed this person's name, sparking speculation about whether he was protecting someone powerful or himself. Another unresolved issue is whether Hart knew about the hidden cameras. Montia Sabbag's $60 million lawsuit alleged that he did, suggesting the encounter was staged for publicity, but Hart denied all claims, and the case private settlement left the truth uncertain. The dropped charges against Jonathan Jackson, after an alleged secret settlement, added more confusion. Jackson later sued Hart for $12 million, insisting Hart never cleared his name as promised. Financial details from these settlements also remain undisclosed, leaving the real cost emotional, financial, and reputational unknown. Meanwhile, Morgan, the third woman present that night, has stayed completely silent, raising further suspicions about what she may have witnessed. Hart's eventual admission to using MDMA, years later, deepened doubts about what else he may have concealed. Despite this, he rebuilt his image around redemption and accountability, often using scandal as material for his comedy. Eniko's decision to forgive him highlighted strength and complexity, but also reignited debates about double standards and privilege in celebrity culture. Ultimately, the Vegas scandal remains an enduring mystery, one that continues to blur the line between genuine remorse, image management, and the true cost of fame. Celebrity culture and accountability. Lessons from Kevin Hart's Vegas scandal. Kevin Hart's 2017 Las Vegas scandal exposed the fragile boundary between fame, accountability, and personal failure in modern celebrity culture. What began as a night of reckless indulgence quickly evolved into a global media storm that tested Hart's career, marriage, and moral compass. The incident, involving infidelity, drugs, and hidden cameras, forced him to confront not only public humiliation, but also questions about authenticity and responsibility in an industry that thrives on image management. Hart did face consequences. He lost major endorsements with Nike and Hyundai, missed out on hosting the Oscars, and saw his credibility questioned. Yet, unlike an ordinary person, he didn't lose everything. He remained wealthy, famous, and professionally active. In fact, some argue that the scandal even fueled his brand, giving him material for his irresponsible tour and adding complexity to his public persona. This contrast raises the question: do celebrities ever truly face consequences in the same way regular people do? For an everyday person, cheating on a pregnant spouse might destroy family, reputation, and social standing permanently. For Hart, access to powerful lawyers, crisis managers, and a loyal fan base softened the blow. His team controlled the narrative, steering the public's attention toward his remorse and rehabilitation, rather than his betrayal. Over time, the outrage faded, replaced by his well-crafted redemption story. He turned personal failure into both comedy and capital, a move that reveals how easily celebrity culture can transform scandal into opportunity. At the core of the controversy was not just Hart's mistake, but the environment that enabled it. Hollywood culture, driven by excess and surrounded by yes men, often blurs moral boundaries. Hart's fame offered constant temptation. Drugs, parties, adoration, and the absence of real accountability encouraged reckless behavior. The Vegas night wasn't an isolated moral slip, but a symptom of a culture that normalizes indulgence and shields stars from consequences. Eniko Hart's response added emotional depth and moral complexity. Pregnant and humiliated, she initially filed for divorce, but later chose forgiveness. The couple entered therapy, renewed their vows in 2019, and now have 2 children together. Her decision was both courageous and controversial, seen by some as strength and by others as a reflection of unequal accountability. In public discourse, men like Hart are often forgiven, while women in similar positions face harsher judgment. This double standard underscores how society extends grace differently, reinforcing gender biases within celebrity narratives. Hart has since built his image around redemption and growth. He frequently speaks about therapy, faith, and family commitment, presenting himself as a changed man. His comedy now includes reflections on his mistakes, allowing him to reclaim control over the story. While his transformation seems sincere, it also serves his brand. Redemption sells, and Hart has mastered turning pain into profit. The lingering question remains: if no one were watching, would he still pursue change? Or is it the spotlight that drives his self-improvement? The scandal's impact stretched beyond headlines. Hart's older children, Heaven and Hendrix, witnessed the fallout firsthand, learning about betrayal and forgiveness through their father's public shame. His younger children, Kenzo and Kaori, will grow up with the digital permanence of his mistakes, proof that in the age of social media, no error truly fades. Ultimately, Kevin Hart's scandal reflects more than a celebrity's moral failure. It's a mirror of the culture that consumes and monetizes such stories. Fame magnifies both success and failure, blurring the line between personal accountability and public entertainment. Hart's Vegas night revealed the paradox of celebrity life. Mistakes become spectacles, pain becomes content, and redemption becomes strategy. Whether Hart's growth is entirely genuine or partly performance remains uncertain, but one truth endures under the blinding light of fame. Accountability is never simple, and every choice leaves a lasting shadow. From hidden cameras to shocking confessions, this story proves how fast trust can shatter and lies can spiral out of control. If you love deep dives into real scandals and raw truth, subscribe to Xposd TV and join our community where deception meets exposure. Do you think Kevin Hart's Vegas scandal was a one-time mistake or something deeper? Did Eniko make the right choice by forgiving him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about them. Thanks for watching, and remember, no matter how powerful or famous, the truth always comes out. Always.